You crack us up, Dark Twins.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Mr. O and me, Banshee. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to our show.
Welcome to the show that the twins and Angelic Pagan.
It's not likely we're pressed for time on Thursday evening. That seems to be our slowest broadcast for some reason.
And last week was kind of busy on Thursday.
Yeah, so we jinx ourselves from time to time.
And people do come later, so we just never know what to expect.
So
we just roll with it.
We think we can do that.
Yeah, we could probably fit both of you in. Dark Twins 1, Dark Twin 2, something like that.
But maybe we need something from you, like, like a little skinny on what is the Dark Twins or something like that.
Well, I know that I've seen you on Facebook, right? Because when I post cards of the day, I sometimes look at the likes and I've seen you there. Mr. O usually handles the Facebook stuff, though, so I just post the cards there.
And here's our Sonny, by the way.
Sonny is here to greet everybody who is not familiar. He is our, how shall I say this, our unofficial therapy cat, because he's always got to be here. So
when he shows up, one of our friends, Kara, will usually almost always show up.
Kara will be
We believe they're twin flames. We're not quite sure.
Kara will be here at some point, I'm sure.
Hey, baby.
So let's get going. Let's start with the card for the collective. I always read an oracle card, so we're going to take a look at that, and then I'll expound on the oracle a little bit here. I'm using today it's by Juliet Diaz and Lorianne Anderson, who does the Season of the Witch decks. It's called the Earthcraft Oracle.
Just leave her there.
Hey, where's Ari today?
Oh,
She's been getting in early lately. Oh, maybe
yeah.
she's working.
Who knows? Maybe she finally got that date with Emmanuel or
Well, it could be. I'm dying to hear if so. All right. I'm going to let you pick one, Mr. O.
Already?
They're always read in the upright.
Okay.
That. All right.
Nothing up my sleeve. Isn't that funny?
Yes.
That's very funny.
That's very funny. That was for the collective on Twitter today.
Yeah, it was today, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
The Mountain.
Wow. What number is that?
37.
Well, okay, this is what they say about the mountain. I went kind of with some of it and went in my own direction, I think, online a little bit. Mountains have stood as a symbol of achievement, likely since mankind first set eyes on them. Many of the world's greatest spiritual leaders have taken pilgrimages to mountaintops to gain perspective on their own lives and what they can offer to the world. It can be a lonely, hazardous journey, but there is much reward in seeing things from a bird's eye view. When you're above looking down, you notice patterns and connections you couldn't have imagined before. Mountain peaks are the vantage point of innovators, leaders, and those who are ready to live life to the fullest. The mountain comes to a reading when you are relying too much on your rational mind. You've lost sight of the bigger picture by obsessing over tiny details. Without a higher purpose, these details will become meaningless and get lost in a sea of confusion and doubt. You're in need of a new perspective to remind you of what really matters and to see your situation from a much higher view. Connect with your intuition and ask yourself, what am I reaching for, ultimately? You are ready to ascend to greater heights and take on new challenges. And it's really interesting as an exercise. They give little things that you could do with the card. They gave the yoga, I think it's yoga mountain pose. So it's kind of neat. But at any rate, I think here this really to me equates to the Hanged Man a little bit in the tarot, that you sometimes need to step back and regain that broader perspective on things. Step outside the box that your mind might be in and look at the bigger picture. And I loved what they said about being on top of the mountain and how you see things in different ways. You look down and you may see roads, you may see paths, you may see things you haven't noticed before. And so I like that perspective of it. There's something else I wanted to say, but do you have anything to add to
Well,
that?
I like mountains because they're very metaphoric and they're very deep in the colloquial wisdoms or stories of the world, all kinds of cultural references. Go tell it to the mountain, my side of the mountain, between if the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad. And so all of those things represent sort of challenges, whether they're community or group challenges or individual ones. But along with the idea of challenge is the sense of struggle, or that it's not going to be a piece of cake trucking up that mountain.
Well, and it's funny because I look up a lot of quotes online from time to time to use in particular instances with cards. And one of the major themes that a lot of people who are doing inspirational quotes and stuff, or motivational quotes, is about climbing the mountain and reaching the top. And remember, let's not forget the other thing. People would climb the mountain to meet the sage or the hermit at the top, right?
Right.
Who possesses great wisdom. That's another idea here, in that you need to take that higher look at things and not just rely, on your rational mind to help you here. And also because we can be very closed-minded sometimes. We're creatures of our own opinions a lot, and our own perspectives. Try to broaden your approach to things, that are important to you right now and situations that you are dealing with. And if you need outside opinions, why not get some? I think that would be a good thing to do.
When mountains crumble to the sea.
So that's what I have for the collective today. I see Jasmina's joined us. Hi, Jasmina.
Hi.
Anybody else pop in? Nope.
Nobody else.
Okay.
Okay, so if you haven't been here before, normally you have a choice of asking a question. It could be spiritual questions or specific questions. We do our best to handle that. You can ask for a general reading too. And by the way, with a little bit of foreknowledge, if we know it's your birthday coming up,
Yep.
we do a birthday gift spread for our followers in the chat room. We just need to know ahead of time, because we like to do that at the beginning of the show.
Right after the card for the collective.
And that's like your reading for the day then. And it's a little bit more involved one, but it's a birthday gift.
It's a 6-card reading, so it's really nice, and it's good for the entire solar year. So
having said all
take
that,
advantage of that.
Dark Twins, we need at least one question right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put Dark Twins 1A and 2 because it's...
Dark Twins 1 and 2. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss story.
You decide which of you is which.
Yeah, it's up to you twins.
All right.
Oh, I see. So you're here twice too? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Well, that's Angelic Pagan and Samantha
are the
Galans.
same. They're the same?
Okay, so only one reading per person that we can verify. Dark Twins seems to be a special case.
So I'm just going to... So do you want me to... I'll leave Angelic Pagan.
This is a Twisted Thursday.
All right.
This is indeed a Twisted Thursday.
So am I right in just leaving Angelic Pagan in and taking Samantha out?
I guess, but I'm sort of giving them a chance to give us more information.
Let me just say, Samantha, Angelic Pagan, are you one and the same person?
All right, so basically we'll do a general, or what does Spirit have for you kind of question, Dark Twins.
Okay. All right, there. So let's see.
Well then, you should be honored, Dark Twins, that
Oh dear.
I'm going to use my relatively new Joker Tarot by Low
Oh,
Scarabeo.
for crying out loud. You're so silly.
All right, so let's see if we give you something that you need or want to hear.
Okay. So I hope I have this right. If I do not, let me know, Samantha and Janet Pagan. This is the way I've got it. So Dark Twins 1 is up.
Well,
What?
you're welcome. Technically, oh, I think you got it right. Okay, very good. Thank you.
I know I did.
Yeah, Los Scarabeo has a lot of great stuff. The artist for this Joker Tarot is the same artist as The Murder of Crows, Corrado Roy. And so some of the artwork is reminiscent of The Murder of Crows. But it's cool. It's very cool. Thank you for your question, Libra. Alrighty, so here are the 3 cards for you, Dark Twin
I
1.
just got disconnected from my chat.
Yeah, it'll come back in a moment. We're not totally disconnected. Okay, so first one is the reverse chariot. Mm. Then we have the moon, and the moon is upright. I love this image.
What's the first one again?
Chariot reverse.
In the moon upright.
And then the final one is the upright 5 of Cups. Looking as forlorn as usual. There's that chariot reverse. I think it's kind of a cool image there. A Joker and a Sphinx riding in a modern chariot. But I'll turn it back to reversed. All right, and what you got there?
Well, some stuff here going on. But anyway, you have the ship.
So in the Lenormand that we pull, it's the ship
and the cross.
And the cross.
There's something about movement here. Dark Twin 1. Let's see. You know, it seems as though movement is stifled right now, and I don't know. You know, this Lenormand is seeming to indicate that too. I'm not going to get to that right now, but that's why I'm wondering about this chariot reversed. It's almost as if maybe, you know, there's either been some setbacks, some stalling in regards to getting something off the ground or getting something going, or just wanting to move on something. You're hesitating for some reason. It's just like the brakes have been hit, you know, in the car, and you're afraid to move forward.
Are you trying to achieve communication with somebody who's on the other side? I'm getting a sense of that from the cards here, you know, the sense of a sadness, you know, the moon and the floating, the astral projecting, and then the chariot reverse, like you can't quite get there. I know I'm really reaching here. She's probably like rolling her eyes there.
Well, we often go in different directions, and this is
This
definitely
is a different direction.
times. So I think here, I'm looking at this and seeing the movement stalling, and I think it's because you're feeling very uncertain. You may be feeling very, oh, geez, Sonny. You may be feeling very uncertain about something. You know, whether it's the right time to do what you're doing, whether you feel confident enough in what you want to get started or get underway. And, you know, I could look at this a lot of broad ways here since I'm not getting a beat on exactly what, like Mr. O, that you're trying to contact somebody from beyond. I think here that this could have to do with starting a new romance. This could have to do with starting a new business venture or project or goal. Something that really you feel you need to do. But you just are hesitating because there's a lot of uncertainty. And the 5 of Cups is, to me, also talking about some disappointment, and maybe it's because of some past setback or disappointment. Maybe whatever's stopping and blocking your progress is not even, you know, about you, that somebody else has, or some other situation is blocking your progress. I mean, with a lot of the uncertainty now in the US, for example, there's a lot of people not sure of where to go, what to do, what they are capable of doing at this time under these crazy circumstances.
Well, putting on my more serious hat here, I look at the moon. That was just a fleeting thought here. I want to get to the practicals.
All right.
The moon and the 5 of Cups are definitely about emotionality. And so what this may be is that a strong sense of strong emotions, sadness perhaps, or missed opportunities, or not knowing, having a confusion about knowing, um, are sort of mucking up your travel or your movement in this area. That's the Chariot reversed.
Yeah, and there is just sadness and disappointment with this lack of movement. I definitely see that. And when you look at the cross and the ship in the Lenormand, the cross is about stress, grief, or worries about a move of some sort. I mean, you're not thinking of moving physically, are you? Because I wonder too if it's about a move of some, an
Well,
actual physical move.
if this is metaphoric in a way, then maybe this is too, because they're both about something that conveys.
Right. So, and I think here too, if it's not a physical move, it is about the movement of some sort. It's just like you feel like there's something that's really blocking you here.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I don't know what to add other than I think that maybe what this is saying is that until you find out more, until you feel more confident about either say if it's a relationship how somebody else is feeling about you, or if it's about, something business or project related, until you can find out more about whatever it is that's troubling you, I think that things are going to be frozen for a time.
All right, so I guess we should ask what Dark Twin 2 question is, right?
Yeah. Okay, I got you, Libra.
Hey, Libra.
So you didn't know what the public saw. I'm still
It's not
confused.
the way it works. Like anyone that goes into the chat room, see, my uncertainty, Angelic. When we're live, I don't know what people might see in our chat room because I don't normally monitor us live. But whatever is there to see in the chat room, if the public sees it, then it's there.
So I'm
So
assuming again that means that I'm just reading for you, Angelic Pagan, who's also okay. I just needed to know that because I'm the keeper of the list here.
right, no, I think
Dark,
that's true.
Dark Twins one. I hope some of that related to you. That was kind of an interesting reading. And,
Definitely,
I
definitely
can't
different
help
for
but
us.
think there's some move or action that's being stalled because it came up twice pretty clearly
Yeah,
in the Lenormand.
that's
Hi,
that's a
SP.
good point.
Good to see you.
Hi, SP. Hi, Kara.
Hi, Kara.
We knew you'd be here because we got the Sunny in the house. Kara's here.
I got an update. And all right, we are on Dark Twins 2 and we're doing a general reading.
So, if you don't have a firm question, do you just want a general reading? Or if you have a question, please go ahead and give us, and that'll be a deck she picks. There we go.
Pretty spot on. Gave us plenty to think about, which is always good. Thank you. Well, did you want one for Dark Twins 2 or not?
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
And if not, we'll move on. But just let us know. I want to remind everybody that my show is coming up on Sunday.
What
The
show
Truth
is that,
Matters.
Banshee dear?
We'll tell you about, all the kooky stuff going on in the business world right now.
Keep going.
Well, it's all about really, for the astrological signs of the zodiac, what the week ahead looks like, what maybe might be going on in your world, whether you're in business, education, or finance. And I bring up a few little things that are going on in the world that might affect us one way or another, things to think about, like stock market things and, other financial shenanigans going on.
It's
So
Sunday
join
at
me.
10 a.m.
We're live in the chat only for that show, and we have a lot of fun in the chat. Mr. O chats it up, and I chat up the cards a little bit more.
And now we have a most interesting question from Dark Twin 2.
Question would be, should we launch our airship?
It's your
Okay,
deck.
well, do we want to do a yes no on there?
We could. And then, see if there's any detail attached to it, or how do you want to do that?
Um,
Hi, Kyle.
I'm going to do the regular yes, no for this. Oh,
Already.
Kyle.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, change the number
That way you can
B.
get going.
I'm going to be using the Desert Illuminations Tarot for this one. We've got two kinds of yes, no questions or readings that we do.
Well, at least two. There might even be another one that we don't do very often.
We don't do them at all on the show. We've only done these two.
Okay, fine.
And so, but the other one is like an add-on if things weren't very clear in the other reading. This one's a little bit longer. I got to count cards out.
I will still pull a Lenormand for this question.
Yes, you will.
All right.
And you know, it's funny, it's a spaceship question, and I picked this deck because there are aliens on some of the cards in this deck. All right.
And Banshee's doing the three aces yes or no spread. It was actually orally taught to me by another witch I knew back in the 70s. And it involves basically counting off cards until you come up with three aces in either the three piles you do, but you have to stop at 13 if you haven't hit an ace, or you stop there and you move to the next pile. And then depending on how the aces run, you may have a yes, a no, a maybe.
Well, I'm going the distance.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got one ace. So that means it's leaning towards maybe this is not the time to release the starship.
Leaning towards no, but it's not a definite no.
You have the Six of Cactus reversed, which is Pentacles.
That was the first one.
And then you've got the Hierophant reversed. And then the Ace of Swords or Daggers came up.
So two aces would be a better chance of yes, and three aces would be yes. No aces would be no. So this is leaning towards no.
Well, you know, I'm thinking here, you know, like Elon's starship that just went kaplooey in space again. You might want to postpone this because more needs to be thought out, I think, here. The Six of Pentacles is reversed, and that indicates to me that something is not quite evening out here. There may be something that has to be considered to make sure everything is in alignment before you move forward.
I like that. That's absolute, I think. Yep.
And then the Hierophant reversed also indicates to me that maybe remember, we're the card for the collective, thinking outside your analytical mind, some out of the box thinking on, you know, this still needs to be done.
All right, so here's the Lenormand for that one. The first one is the dog, and the second one is the whip. So I guess we have to beat the puppy.
Well,
no, we don't have to beat the puppy.
Is that a tough one?
Quickly engage a friend or somebody that's loyal to this?
Well, no. There's more to the dog than just that. Remember, the dog is about loyalty. The dog is about trust. Maybe moving too fast is not the answer here. The whip can sometimes be an aggressive card in the Lenormand, and I'm kind of looking at it as saying maybe moving too fast is not a good idea. You won't be able to trust that you'll get the results you had hoped for if you move too fast. It's kind of what I'm thinking here.
Oh, Kyle's added some interesting thought there. And you're right. And so it's sort of similar. Yeah. It's sort of similar to what she's saying.
Wow. That really is interesting, Kyle. Thanks for that.
Thank you for sharing your insight. And that's, of course, another nice thing. We love when people give a spin, too, for us or another idea. So it's always welcome.
All right. That's what we have for you, Dark Twins. Good
Dark
luck with
Twin
that.
2, that's your answer. Alrighty.
Okay.
Hope you like that. Namaste. All right, so it's back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ari.
Ari made it. Hello, Ari. We'll get you on the list. Okay.
So it's Cherry. All right.
Yep, Cherry is up. They might have left a question.
Why do I keep seeing crows? Do they have a message for me?
Ah, crows are messengers.
They are indeed
Want to
messengers.
do my reading on that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And it's my deck again, and I'm going to use the Crow's Magic Tarot, an older deck that's at least from the 90s. Um, Used to use it for our coven for a while. It would be the Coven Tarot, or the Circle Tarot.
Oh, did I forget? I thought
Oh,
you are.
brain, brain gas pass.
Hold on. Did I miss? Oh, that's weird because I see you on the list here. Okay, I don't know what happened. And there's two eights now.
So Kyle came after SP or around them?
There's something funny here. Now, Kyle came after Kara, I believe, or before.
That's what it looks like. It looks like it was after
Okay.
SP, actually.
Oh, okay. So Kara and Kyle and this is really weird. Oh.
Oh,
I'm wondering if there's a delay when you make a change on there and I don't see it right away.
well, I didn't do any
Because
up
I
until,
copied and pasted the list and his name didn't show. But when I went back in, his name was there.
okay.
Very
Oops.
strange.
So I guess I need to keep you on the list.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so. We're
All
having
right.
some weird
Why
glitches
does
between our
Carrie keep
computers.
seeing crows? Do they have a message for you? So, do the crows Cherry sees have a message for her? Card one. It's the Five of Coins reversed. Well, it could be saying that something new is coming to you that will bring you into an inner circle of sort, or will open up a door that Five of Coins reversed that hasn't been open for you before. So the crows may be telling you that this time is coming where something new happens, and you maybe are actually shifting into a new segment somehow where you're moving into something. It's not like you're moving from without to within necessarily, but you're moving into something.
The crows may be telling you that this is a time of healing or recovery for you as well. I think here, it doesn't necessarily have to be your health, but if you have been ill or injured or suffering from something, there's healing in store. If there's an area of your life that has been out of balance, financial or otherwise, job related, things are going to start to ease up a little bit, and there's just a sense of more stability and grounding coming. Hope is in sight. Spirit, the crows might be telling you to hang in there. Things are shifting. And as Mr. O said, this could involve your feeling or your sense of being left out of something. Maybe now you're going to feel more a part of something bigger.
Thank you for rephrasing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is that important then that you understand this? And it's the reversed Ace of Wands. It may be indicating that there are some things you might have to put aside or delay their implementation or their progress. It may be that you'll have other networking or friendship options that maybe you need to kind of go slower on.
Well, to me, why this is important is because, you've experienced some setbacks, some delays recently, or, and I mean some setbacks, and now is the time, for recovery. I just sort of feel like it's kind
That's
of
good too.
informing that card in some way. It's possible too, maybe. I'm just going to, when Mr. O brought out that you feel part of something bigger, then maybe this involves a relationship of some sort, something that didn't get off the ground right, or something that, maybe there's been a breakup of some sort. Maybe there's going to be a patch up if that's the case. So I'm looking at these different scenarios until I get more beat on it. I get a feeling it could be project or work related because that's what I'm seeing so far mostly
It's
here.
more likely, I think. Yeah.
But I'm going to keep that door open for the moment. Where are
So
things headed?
where is it headed? It's the reversed Four of Coins.
Huh, seems money. So, okay, I know he was talking about you have to let some things go. Maybe that applies to his reading, but I also feel the Four of Coins reversed indicates to me that where things are headed is once you release your hold on things that are not valuable to you anymore, not important to you anymore, that might be interfering with your progress, things will start to improve. Maybe that's the message. I'm going to
Yeah.
think about this a little more and put it back together when he's done. Go ahead.
I like that. It's the idea maybe that once you realize this message, or once you realize why it's important for you to understand it, that your relationship with maybe a lot of materialistic things may change. And it won't be that suddenly you decide you're a socialist or anything like that, but just may mean that you might realize, you can do with less, or you can give more to charitable causes or other causes that are important to you. But that may involve, once again, making shifts in how you look at your personal economy and stuff.
Okay, so I'm getting a download here. A mental download. So, I think the Five of Pentacles reverse could also indicate to me that maybe the crows are coming to tell you that, once you shift from a lack mentality, that you either lack support or friends, that you either lack the financial resources that you need, or you lack the abilities to move forward, you'll be able to turn around the things in your life that have been going south for you. And I think here, let go of the need to feel like you are less than, other people. Appreciate what you have. I think in a sense, this is letting go of maybe some of the baggage attached to this lack
Ooh, I
mentality.
like that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, and it's time to just adopt a new attitude, the crows are saying.
Crows
And
are survivors. All right, so we have the clouds in Lenormand, and then we have the moon. So the moon is facing the darker side of the clouds.
and see, that to me too indicates a sense of uncertainty or worries or a lack of confidence in your ability to move something forward or succeed at something. And sadly, this doesn't give me much of a clue either because it could be in the area of business or romance.
Hmm.
So, whatever resonates to you, Cherry, I think that is saying that, there's just a sense you're feeling of uncertainty. And the crows might want to tell you the times are changing, and if you change your attitude, you might be able to break, this logjam here.
I also get a feeling that you may receive more downloading of your own through the dreamscape. The
Maybe.
moon could be part of that, but I feel like the message we've given is pretty sound. There and remember that the moon symbol also talks about things changing over time, a moon many moons ago, that kind of thing. So this may take a moon cycle at least to work through whatever is going on here, in the sense of really you moving forward with something by having to review a connection that no longer really works.
And the clouds are very ethereal in this deck. If the dark side is facing another card. It could indicate some depression or confusion, a lack of clarity. When it is upright, it's a search for clarity. It's maybe also, depending on the card it's paired with, could indicate that things are becoming clearer now. Doubts are dissipating. But because those dark clouds are facing the moon, we've got to dispel that in order for, things to start moving on the right track. And it's interesting that you got the clouds, and this was about crows that fly up towards the clouds. So I like that. I like the fact that that came up in this reading. So good luck
All
with
right.
that,
Good luck,
Cherry.
Cherry Blossom.
All right.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome. So Angelic Pagan is up, and
Quit moving my table.
Sunny. Is it me?
No, it's him because he bumped into it. He didn't move it fatally, so that's good.
All right. So if you have a question or you just want a general reading, just let us know.
And that's my Lenormand.
I'm just mixing them a little.
Ready?
Get out another new deck I just recently
All
got.
right. So Angelic Pagan would like a general reading. Okay, we gotcha.
I'm going to use the Magical Hours Tarot. All right. Hi, Sonny.
Goodbye.
He'll be back.
He will.
But at least I got room to shuffle.
This week, Happy Hour will be on 10 a.m. It's a live show for
But
about an hour.
Mr. O has to work, so we got to be done by 11 p.m.
Come and get a free positive card.
11 p.m., did I say? 11
Yes, you
a.m.
did.
11 a.m. So 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., single card positive message. All right, well, this one isn't so positive to start, but let's just see. It's the Queen of Cups reversed. Oh, well, we also have the Devil upright. Wow. Hmm. The Wheel of Fortune upright.
All eyes are on me.
I know. Lots going to ride on these Lenormand, Mr. O.
Do my best.
Well, I could start. Well, let's see what you got.
It's the crossroads,
Signs.
the garden,
No, it's the garden. Yeah.
and the tower.
Well, the garden and the tower. Well, Angelic Pagan, are you working right now? Are you in the workforce? I'm just asking, but I'm not sure I'm going to go there yet. The Queen of Cups reversed indicates to me some sense of disappointment. Something is making you feel blue or down, and emotionally down. It could be that maybe it's treatment from somebody else. Maybe you feel that unappreciated, or that people don't care about your situation or circumstance right now. Um, I'm going to stop there for the moment. I have
And
a
I
few
agree
more.
with that. There's sort of some bubbling
There's a
emotions
malaise.
going on. And I sort of feel it's because of the devil right next door that
Yeah.
maybe it's talking about a demanding or oppressive relationship or situation. I won't say it's
It could be
necessarily a
work.
relationship, but it could be, and of course, just having a boss who doesn't appreciate you. Well, that's a bad relationship too, or oppressive,
It could be
etc.
family. I mean, things that may oppress you or hold you back. I think, from achieving your goals. And it could be something, I have to say it, we're honest here. It could be something within yourself. Are there some habits? Are there some shadows that maybe, are restricting your abilities to move something forward, do something that you want to do, but you just feel held back, or you're holding yourself back because these habits are keeping you from doing what you need to do,
Right.
and it doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs. Hey, it could be anything. It could just be being lethargic, being lazy and not wanting to work on goals at this time. It could be other things as well. So, and it could be other people, like I said, like he's talking about. It could be a relationship. Could it be that this queen is not even you and it's somebody else who's treating you very poorly right now, whether it's a friend or a family member in a romantic relationship? I think things are going to take a change, though.
Right, and it may not be something you expect necessarily, but it seems like maybe things are going to shift into a better direction. It could be a result of you deciding, that whatever it is that's oppressing you at this time or making you sort of cower, you're just going to be done with it. And I think Banshee may have thought that some of this could relate to work, as I may think it does too,
Because of the
because it's a
tower.
tower.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the tower in Lenormand is not the same as the tower in tarot. So this is more about an idea of an institution, a place you may work at, a place you may worship or go
Or
to
a place
school
you
to.
go to school, right? It could even be a court. It could be a court case. So if there's something like that going on, whether it's a lawsuit or a divorce, for example, I do think here that, oh, why? I do think here that other people might be involved. Other people are definitely involved in this situation. And I wonder here if actually it's either one or the other. Other people might be able to help you through this, or there are people involved that are making you feel blue right now. And I just get this feeling that something is going to change. The Wheel of Fortune, I almost feel like this is going to pass, because the Wheel of Fortune is like literally saying, bide your time. Bide your time on whatever is troubling you here and work on it, as best you can, because time is on your side.
Time is on your side, and when I look ahead at the Lenormand completely, I realize that this could also be about something that's hidden in a way. The idea that maybe sometimes we are dealing with other urges or other things about us, whether it's our behaviors or whatever. We don't always broadcast that, or maybe it's that someone else that is oppressing you, but it may end up showing up in the public, because that's what the garden also means. And so I think there's a connection there saying, bide your time, because more people will know, and maybe truth sets you free.
I feel here that the wheel could also be saying that something happens unexpectedly to turn your luck, to change your luck for the better. And so that's why it's saying time is on your side. The wheel is constantly turning, and whatever has been troubling you, I see a progression here. And I feel that in time, it's going to shift to something more positive. The devil here is an interesting character. Sometimes he is about, when he's upright, a lot of times he's looked more negatively, as we did approach it here. And I think largely it's because of that Queen of Cups that we're approaching it that way here. But sometimes he talks about indulging in life. And so it's like, I would throw this out at you too, Angelic Pagan. If you've been feeling really down in the dumps, maybe it's time to live a little. Maybe it's time to take off the shackles of work and things that have been oppressing you, whether it's in your interpersonal life or in your work life, and change your luck. Change your time, give yourself a good time instead of allowing things to keep
I
building
like
up
that.
here. And I think, that
That it's a valid interpretation.
It could be that as well. And I think here, as far as work or institutions or education goes, working with other people probably will benefit you more than hurt you at this time. So I hope that made sense with you. Good luck with that. Thanks for joining us today. And don't forget, come to happy hour. We have a great time at happy hour. We give everybody a positive message for the week ahead, and we have a lot of fun. Mr. O sings and dances on the table. No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
I do.
He doesn't.
Well, I want to.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
All right, so Jasmina is.
Jasmina?
Hi, Jasmina. And I believe you wrote your question, so let's take a look. Okay, maybe not. I know we can get one from you.
Oopsie.
In the meantime, I'll mention that tomorrow morning, it's my emotional exchanges, the outlook on the emotional exchanges. It's a 2-card reading for the signs of the zodiac. And basically, it's for each sign. The top card is the vibe for the week that's coming to you, the energy or environmental feeling going on. And the bottom card is, will you be lucky in romance or love, etc.? Who knows, right? Check it out. It drops down at 7 a.m., but you can watch it anytime. It is a recorded show. I welcome you to watch it.
Hey.
And we're still waiting for Jasmina. We may have to put you at the bottom of the list again, unless you show up really quick, because we need that question or we're going to move on.
It's possible Jasmina has left.
Well, you could put him after Eri.
There she is. Okay. I saw her there. I'm just looking to see one more time. No, they didn't leave a question. Well, last call for Jasmina. I'm going to update the list. We can put Jasmina at the end. Since this is shorter
And tell
list.
everybody else that we are also on, besides Thursday nights, Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. Unless we otherwise note that. Those are our 2 regular live streams. They're about 2 hours long, just like this one here and the one on Sunday. And then, of course, there was the happy hour. So that's what we do.
All
right,
right,
so
so
Libra's
Libra's up, and they did leave a question. It was, I'll explain it, because they're, why is my body storing emotions? That was the question.
Yes.
Is it my deck, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use the Midnight Boulevard.
Okay. Also, I will be starring on Mr. O's Got Tarot next week.
We will start another round of more interim, semi-advanced shadow work.
I'm excited.
Using the Cries of the Soul's Oracle. And I thought, I haven't gotten a lot of feedback, but I really thought that we did a good job with the last one.
Well, thank you.
And my updates weren't so bad either. All right.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Are we doing your reading?
Let's just throw 3 cards on the
Already?
See what we
so
get.
The first one is the Star, but it's reversed.
This is so weird.
The second one is the reversed 7 of Wands. And the third one is the reversed 6 of Pentacles.
I have some thoughts on this.
So sadly, they're all reversed.
Get this. Well, she's asking why her body's storing emotions,
Okay.
and I think that may be
Those
the
are.
reasons why.
So take a letter, Maria. The
I
stars.
know.
Huh. Well,
Well,
you can't have it all.
you know,
I don't know.
the star is reversed right from the get go, Libra, and I'm thinking here that you maybe have been feeling either you've been feeling really kind of pessimistic about things lately. Maybe you've been having some darker thoughts, and that may have led to, your body storing the emotions, not releasing them. Maybe, too, that you're feeling kind of nervous or edgy about things and you're holding it in. And so, holding it in has Six of Wands reversed has made you feel vulnerable in some way, or you've opened yourself up. In other words, with the wait, that's the Six of Wands?
Seven of Wands.
Seven of Wands. That's what I meant. Okay, I was reading it like the Seven of Wands because the thing here is when it's upright, the Seven of Wands talks about how you have higher ground and you can rise above all your difficulties. But when it's reversed, I feel like something has pierced your boundaries. Something has caused put you in a vulnerable position so that your body is not managing its emotions properly. They're just stuck there. And I feel it because, the star reversed in particular.
Well, I almost get the feeling from what Banshee said here, and I'm feeling this, that not only is it storing those emotions, but you sort of are dulling yourself to understanding them. So they're sort of like hidden in your body, and so they're not necessarily there for you to ponder and try to release. That may be something you'll have to figure out how to do. But I agree with Banshee here. This is saying maybe this bodily feeling brings a lot of depression to you, or may give you other things, that are not pleasant to deal with. Maybe sometimes it gives you more indigestion, or maybe sometimes it gives you more constipation, or maybe sometimes you feel like you're got more high blood pressure even. Who knows?
And it's just kind of something that's popping into my head too, Libra, is the spirit. The star is a very ethereal, spiritual card to me because it's out there in the vastness of space. We wish upon the stars, we put a lot of emphasis on the night sky. And I just feel here that maybe this is saying your spirit is out of alignment right now with your body in some way, and it's left you vulnerable, emotionally more vulnerable. I don't know why, but I'm wondering if that's the case here. And what's that card again?
That's the reverse Six of Pentacles.
There's a lack of balance. Oh my gosh, forgot about that. So Six of Pentacles is saying something needs to be realigned. You've got to feel what's wrong here and do some alignment work.
So if it's a physiology thing, maybe you have to look into detoxifying or certain kinds of fasting or diets. Maybe that's appropriate. But if it's sort of a spiritual, mental,
Emotional.
emotional thing, then that advice isn't going to be the same for you.
No, and I think here part of the message might be is that you have to restore faith, hope, and confidence in yourself. I think that's the message. I don't know, when I see the letter here and I see the stars in its proper form in the Lenormand, in a positive light, whereas this one is reversed. You have to reverse this. You have to find a way to build more confidence in yourself, more strength and belief in faith in being able to do the right things at the right times. And also, maybe it's faith and belief in managing your emotions properly and recognizing the fact that, hey, emotions aren't meant to be kept in here. They do need to be released.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
release them if you're holding on
Right.
to them. Don't be
Right.
afraid to let them go. But hey, also, you can do a lot to control how they're let go, right? So,
I think my final thought for you, Libra, is the letter. It reminded me of something. It was a willpower building exercise for myself. I'm going to give you an abbreviated form of it. And I'm going to say, make yourself at the beginning of the week, say it's Sunday, 3 things you're going to do on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And come hell or high water, you're going to do those things. So maybe one of them is you're going to clean out a closet. Maybe the second one is you're going to study a book you've been meaning to study. And the third one, whatever it is. But the point is that builds your willpower to create, the will or decisions or affectations you want in your life, because you do these things and you wrote this letter to yourself saying, I will do these things. I'm writing a letter to Aunt Griselda. Whatever it is, something you put off for a while. You build up your willpower by committing in paper, putting it on words, and then doing it. And I think it's important.
so I think, well, part of what he says is really good for this in a way, because you want to just believe in yourself more, and the more things that you can do that can build up your faith in yourself once more, and your faith in your abilities to manage your emotions properly, will help you overcome this imbalance that's going on here, and may seal that break, that allowed this to happen. I mean, I know you're saying the emotions are locked inside, and I'm saying there's a break here. What I am trying to say is there's a break in your ability to manage them properly. It's just something's wrong here. Boundaries have been breached, maybe, and that could be troubling you too. Maybe it's because of some people overstepping themselves and you don't know how to handle it. You don't have the faith in yourself enough to handle it properly, but you do have it. You just got to tap into it again. I wish you luck with that.
Alrighty. Good luck, Libra.
Oh, wow, Angelic Pagan. Thanks for that info.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Well, we have been there, of course.
Yeah.
We cared for somebody with Alzheimer's. And at our age, yes, we're going to be caring for each other.
Apparently now.
Or
Yes.
who knows? But yeah, so if
Good
you're
luck.
looking for a good resource, you might want to look for a book in your library or somewhere. It's called The 36-Hour Day, and it's specifically for caregivers. It tells people, that never-ending day, things you can do that help you cope or understand your situation better.
Although it's largely about Alzheimer's disease, it's not totally related to that. So
That's true. You're right.
But anyway, I understand that completely. Yeah, my mother went through a bout of Alzheimer's for 15 years, and to see her on that journey safely was very difficult. Because of the stages of the disease. And over that period of time, there was a lot of uncertainty. So good luck to you.
Good luck. All right, so that's your deck.
All right.
Can I get a read on my finances for the next few months?
KSP Finances. Let's see. I'm going to take out the Flower Child. Here.
And we thank everybody for coming and hanging with us tonight, even if you bop in and out. We realize you're busy. We're busy too. We like to spend as much affordable time as we can with each person. So we may not be fast enough for some people who really, want to, get to their question,
Sometimes we just get chatty and tell stories.
We get a little chatty.
Like Mr. O's many family stories.
Yes.
And other.
My father's favorite uncle worked for Al Capone. He didn't work directly for him. He was just on the payroll. He drove a booze truck around during Prohibition. That's why he was my father's favorite uncle.
And what's really interesting is the house his grandmother lived in.
Yes, there was a little tunnel for that period of time where they would make the booze in the basement and then they would take it out in a tunnel to the garage. That's what we were told. I don't know if that's really why it was there, but that tunnel went all the way. That went like about a good.
It's obviously hiding something.
30 to 40 feet.
Anyway. Well, good news for you, SP. Start off with the world upright.
Yay! Look at that pretty world.
Wow, you also got the Seven of Cups upright.
Yay!
But you do have the Knight of Cups reversed. It's
Not so yet.
interesting that this is a reading about
Your
money,
finances.
finances, and there's a lot of emotion cards here, but let's take a look at this. See what Mr. O can add.
I should write a book, Kara. Okay, our letter has returned. Take a letter, Maria. And the tree.
Wow, GSP. I
Hmm.
think your finances for, what was it, how many months?
It's just at the next several.
The next several months. It seems as though you're going to be able to you're going to be putting yourself in a better place. It's almost as if you're finishing a cycle and starting a new one. So I almost wonder here if it's not a new job for you or anything like that, if there's going to be something new for you in your present place of employment. The world kind of indicates something coming full circle and then moving on to the next big thing. And the interesting thing about that is the Seven of Cups is here as well. And the Seven of Cups is saying, you've got a lot of options in these several months ahead to work on bettering your financial conditions. But so it's time to think of what's the best approach to do. Is it getting another job? Is it choosing some other job? Is it choosing to take on more responsibilities at your present job? Whatever the case may be. I'm going to stop with those two.
I almost wonder, SP, if you already have an idea that this could be happening for you, or you're really trying to wish it into being, because it really looks like things could change for the better in the next few months. And it's not just like, okay, your finances got better, you're now making, an extra $20 a week in your paycheck. I know how this goes, I've been there myself. This really does seem to be something a little bit more woof, so like maybe it is like what Banshee might theorize, that maybe you're being promoted in your current position with more money, or you're finding a position you can take that will also be that. But something is picking you up. The only thing could be that maybe you're settling for not quite as well. Maybe it is what we said at the beginning, like maybe it's more modest than not, so it's not as extremely better, as you might have wanted, but it's better enough to make you feel good about it.
Yeah, the the Knight of Cups is the only thing here. I feel like that maybe, you just gotta kind of keep your emotions in check. Keep everything in balance so that you can make the appropriate move that's right to increase your financial well-being. I just feel here that maybe there's some unsettled emotions in regards to making a change, but if you do, I think it'll be good for you. You've got the tree and you've got the letter here. So I don't know if you're expecting some money to come in, but if that's what the letter is about, because it could be about documents, it could be about getting news or information, it could be about a check in the mail. So it could be that. And the tree is about growth. And so a couple things that come to mind for me is a job that you get word of getting a promotion, you get word of maybe growing that income by getting a raise in pay. There's something positive, or you get some money to you that helps your finances grow. I have a feeling there is growth in the months ahead for you. So I'm feeling pretty good about
It's like I said, I get the feeling like you probably know this might be happening. The only other thing I might have said about, I'll say it now, the Knight of Cups, is that maybe their movement. And so maybe, in order to achieve this potential, there is a move, i.e., indicating the idea that if it's a job, you're moving to a new department, promotion, or you're moving to a new position. And so you may be leaving some people you like, but hey, got to go where the money is. You really do. All right.
it. That's what we have for you. Good luck with
Good luck,
that.
SP, and let us know how it works out. We will definitely want to know. All right, so
And Kara is up.
Kara is up. Hey, Kara. Yes. Well, Kara,
What?
for some reason I had this feeling that somebody was going to ask a question
I
that
didn't
might
see the question.
pertain to ghost. I brought my ghost tarot out. So I'm going to use the ghost
Mr.
tarot.
O, if you saw the question, can you tell me?
Yes, it's about Hernan. Things are poltergeistery happening in the house. Somebody broke a garbage pail plate twice, or in two pieces, and everybody said they didn't do it, and there's no pets, so they wonder if it was Nan or somebody
Here,
else.
I found it.
I'm sorry. I thought you were keeping up with the chat. We talked about this.
Man or wow. That's interesting, Kara.
Maybe, maybe. But the ghost tarot.
Well,
They
I
tell
have
us.
that deck nearby that could be, if we think it's Nan, I could see if Nan has a message.
There you go.
But let's do this first, and I'll get the Lenormand.
So that's just a regular three cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. We can always do a yes or no if we have to. All right, so the first card is the Five of Cups. Now look at that picture. Waving goodbye into the mist there.
Up
Somebody's,
right?
yeah, somebody's no longer here.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Then the next one is the Ten of Pentacles, and it's upright. And of course, it's family with
It's family.
ghost children. So it's family. And then the final card, I know this is so cool, is is that is 17 temperance or the
17 is the star because it
is
comes
the
before the
star?
moon.
I know, but I always look at that
I know.
body of the waters. Yeah,
I get confused too sometimes.
the
I go by the
star.
number now.
Okay, so grandma has become one of the old
Stop.
ones. It's a friend. It's a fishy friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the fish popped up, but gosh, this is really wild, Kara. Could be your Nan. I think it could be. I'd like to think it's more a friendly spirit than not. Um, but let's take a look at this here. We have the Five of Cups upright, and right, it's
Look at
cups.
that.
Yeah, well, let me see it again. That is pretty. Well, he's almost looking to the light, though, which is a good thing, but
Where they
somebody's
go?
going.
Not
I
where he
see
went,
the
but where
ghost
they
is
go.
going away, though. That's interesting.
Okay, well, it's just saying, this happened recently, the passing. Then, of course, it's that one.
The 10 of, yeah, I get that. Okay.
Okay, never mind.
May I,
I won't
before I
tell you what they
lose
are
my
if you ask,
thoughts,
though.
the Five of Cups indicates to me that grandma's sad, I think, or the spirit may be going through some disappointment and some sadness right now at having to leave. Or maybe grandma recognizes that other people are sad that she left and is making her presence felt, that she's still with you.
It's a clue. It's a clue of some sort. She's trying to tell you there's unfinished things there, things that didn't spill over. She might be trying to
True.
give a clue of some sort.
Maybe she's also, when you think of the Five of Cups, like he just did, cups are spilled over. Your grandma's gone from this plane, but cups are still standing. Your grandma, physically is gone from this plane, but she's still here. Part of her is still here. And so then we have now I forgot the card because I got off on this
And I'm not
tangent.
going to tell you because you didn't want me to show them to you.
And it's, oh yeah, of course. That's what made me think it was your Nan, because it's the Ten of Pentacles. If it's
Family.
not your Nan, it could be another family member. It could be somebody else. Uh, could it be, is her husband on the other side, right?
It's somebody who didn't want her coming. That's why the plate got ripped, the thing got ripped in half. Like, why'd you send her here? Why'd she have to come?
Well, at any rate, I do think this is talking about ancestral stuff and family unity. And I feel here maybe she still wants you to know that in spirit, she's still part of you all.
And so the star just sort of says that maybe in her own way she will try to guide you. She will try to be your own North Star on a certain level.
I think the star too, because again, the star has these very spiritual connotations to me. That this is again that she is here in spirit, and she really doesn't mean harm, but she wants to be noticed or spoke to. And
Make an ancestor altar and leave her something.
all I can say is if, activity continues, whether it's your Nan or not, and it doesn't seem to be super harmful activity, they just want to be noticed. They want to be noticed. And so you could set boundaries with them and say, I know you're here. You're welcome to stay so long as you follow, the rules.
I would be really grateful
But
if
if
you cleaned up my room.
but if
Oh,
you're But if your Nan is the one here, you just want to let her know we see you, we still care about you, we love you, we won't forget you, and be that way about it. I think here what this might be saying, the fish is about a lot of times about movement too, because it's the movement of money, the movement of abundance. And so I'm wondering here if what this is saying to me is there may be more activity. There may be more activity, but it's from a good source. It's not from a scary kind of person. Now, admittedly, sometimes things might break. Unfortunately, I would be concerned if something physically happened to someone in the house. If that's not happening, I'm beginning to think they just want to be noticed. They want you to know they're there.
all right, so she wants to be noticed. I would say make a small casual ancestor altar and maybe once a week or so try to leave something that you know Nan would like there. But also on Halloween, on All Hallows Eve, I think you
Yes.
should definitely remember her somehow, whether you just, pray to her at midnight or whatever you end up doing.
And I'm not going to do it today, but I think under these circumstances, you have to keep us posted and let us know how things are going there. If this continues, maybe you'll want me to pull one of those cards and see if she has a message for everybody, and I'll do that for you. So, but let's just see how this plays out. I'm hoping that it is true that maybe it's your Nan just saying I'm still here with you.
And of course, an ancestor altar is good for other occasions too. When you remember a particular person's birthday or anybody who you're related to or who is older and has passed on, why not? Very cool.
Wow, so good luck with that, Kara.
Good luck,
Interesting situation.
you
Sorry,
spooky
son.
dago.
What? Why did you say that?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kara, I'm sorry too.
No, she's not. Okay, yes, she is. I'm the one that says inappropriate things.
He's always inappropriate.
You know I love you.
Totally politically
You know I love
incorrect.
you.
I love bagels.
There you go.
Kyle is up. Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
I think you did
And
leave.
since I don't really know much about you, I can't say anything inappropriate. What
My
can we look forward
goodness.
to over the next week? That's going to be
Okay.
your deck.
Yep. Try to rein Mr. O in, but to no
Give up.
no hope there. I'm going to use my Tarot Illumina. I haven't brought that out in a while. Although I did want to use my Nautical deck. I'll save that one though. Let's use this one.
So yes, Banshee was mentioning the Goth Tarot, which next week we'll begin a new round of work with the Cries of the Soul. So check it out. It's on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. or anytime thereafter.
It'll be
Uh,
for a monthly shadow working. And Mr. O will do his regular shows of shadow work in the weeks following. And he'll do an updated card or two related to the progress. It's usually just one card, right?
Thank you for that.
You're
You
welcome.
kind of cut in there.
I figure it's my role.
Well, as a trial run, we may be nearing the end of the contract.
Oh, jeez.
We thank you for your service.
I love bagels too, Kara. I like them a lot. I don't eat them much anymore. Need to get
Too
some.
much bread.
Well,
It's not dietarily sound, but I love them too. Oh, there's those cards.
okay.
Hmm.
Got the Eight of Cups upright.
Well, I like what that says.
We have the Magician reversed. Uh-oh.
Not so much that one.
And it's another major arcana reversed.
Um,
Judgment.
oh dear. Well, in the Lenormand, the first one was the coffin, and the second one was the house. So, indeed.
I don't know. It's kind of wacky for a week ahead reading. Maybe it almost seems like it might go a little bit beyond just the next week. I'd say. But the Eight of Cups, I feel you really want to move away from some conditions that aren't right for you, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's with a relationship, whether it's some other person, whether it's a physical move that you just don't feel like you belong there anymore. It's something where you just feel you need to move on to elevate yourself in some way. There's a call for some new adventure in your life.
I think it's more likely that maybe this is a mental program you're going to go through trying to just really think it out or do divination or some ritual towards that. But it could be a physical thing too. It could just be saying, like, you've kind of reached a dead end behind you. You realize nothing more can be achieved, and you know the only progress forward
Is
is
forward.
another direction
Yeah.
forward.
Well, I like that. It could be an internal journey going on. And considering some of the cards, the major cards, this could be true. But I'm going to try to read it the other way. And then I might go back and look at this spiritually as well. But I think here with the Magician reversed, you just feel like you need to pursue something higher. And that maybe you need to challenge yourself to acquire more skills or knowledge in some area that's really important to you.
If your direction you feel needs to change, circumstances say go somewhere else, whether it's mentally or without, it could be because you feel your skills are not really appreciated
I
where you're
like
at.
that
Your
too.
talents, your energies, whatever it is, nobody likes your frameworks. They sort of feel like maybe some things are good, but your framework is wrong. Somebody just doesn't really appreciate you in some respects.
Well, and the other thing about this card following the Eight of Cups to me says that maybe you feel like you can't gain any more knowledge or skills here. There's nothing really for you here. And also that maybe what you're doing right now um, in the situation, it's not advancing you in any way, and you're feeling as if you're losing your will or your determination to continue pursuing the old course, whatever it is.
I'm wondering if the judgment reverse says that maybe you've been thinking in the background or subconsciously about a career change or something that makes a significant departure from what you've been doing and moves you to another area because you realize, number one, you can easily change to that and adapt to that, and also two, there's many more advantages than the grind you've been going through, perhaps.
Well, and I like that with judgment reversed, though. Judgment is reversed. It's indicating to me that maybe you just feel like, you're not following your calling, whatever it
That
is.
too.
Whether it's a relationship that doesn't seem like it's going to withstand the test of time, or the career path you're on is not what it's really what you feel is for you anymore. You feel like you need to refine something or maybe rekindle something, but you're kind of feeling stuck. I think judgment reversed here is indicating that you might feel like it's too late or whatever, but it's not. It's never too
Of
late,
course not.
And I think here with the house and the coffin, it's indicating to me, Kyle, that I think this is a time where you really need to consider stepping outside your comfort zone, putting an end to just playing it safe and taking chances on yourself in life, going for something higher, pursuing a dream, pursuing better conditions in your life. Take a chance on yourself and put an end to just playing it safe.
So it
I
kind
don't
of
know.
goes along with the idea of a real career course change of some sort,
A life
or at
change.
least thinking about it.
It doesn't have to be career, but I like that. I mean, I could see it.
I mean, it could be a possibility.
Yeah. It could be, like I said, any number of life altering, changing possibilities here because this just talks about elevation. And there is a spiritual component to that card, as you pointed out with an internal journey, but it's also could be a spiritual elevation. Maybe that's what you're searching for right now.
Well, thank you for that. It doesn't really give you exactly physical things happening. It's really talking more about, your deliberation or dialogue on it internally. But I think some of these do present as opportunities that may show up during the week to have that serious, inner discussion, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that maybe if not this week, sometime some things that may transpire in the week ahead could lead you on to thinking it's time to make some major changes in my life and or in the situation, that you're in. So that's what it looks like. And it looks like it involves not playing it safe, maybe taking some chances and risks that you didn't, maybe you hesitated to take before. So good luck with that.
Good luck, Kyle. Thanks for coming.
And we got Ari. Hi, Ari. Looks like we might end early today, Mr. O.
All right, I can get to work on my show for tomorrow.
I got to work on stuff for tomorrow.
I don't have a lot more to do, but I got to get it done.
Oh,
I saw this earlier, area, and I thought that was interesting because obviously the Roadhouse or Longhorns would be a definite opportunity to make more money. So between the two, I guess we should do a two and two and look at that with the two Lenormands for each two. Uh, I think that would be pretty cool. Let's see, what deck do I want to use? I'm going to use the Barbie Airy Tarot. Did you want me to repeat the question?
I've got it. I looked.
All right.
The list isn't that long. I seem to be able to get where I needed to. Hey, you're welcome, Kyle.
You are welcome. Anytime.
Hmm. Well, let's see. Oh, I did it wrong. You know what? Actually, that's there. That's there. Okay. We're doing two and two, right?
Right.
Okay, no, I didn't do it wrong.
Okay, so you're welcome, Cherry. Thank you. Have a good night yourself.
Take
Appreciate
care,
it.
Cherry. Good to see you.
That was an interesting reading. Alrighty.
Wow.
So the first one was the Texas Roadhouse, and my cards are the Reverse Star and The reversed Eight of Wands. There's a scythe. Actually, that should go there. And the rider.
So this is the Longhorns?
No, this is Texas Roadhouse.
Okay. So the Roadhouse. I kind of feel here there's what was that one again? The Star
Star
Reverse.
reverse.
Well, I don't know if it's a very likely option for you at Longhorns for some reason.
Texas
Or
Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And the reason is because there's a lot of, it just seems like wishes aren't coming true here. The Eight of Wands also indicates to me that you might be wasting your energy applying there, trying to go there. So I could think of one of two things. You might be able to get a job there, but it's not going to give you, the results you wanted from it. Maybe you'd make some money, but there's something that's just not going to be happy about this. And I feel here that I almost feel like and the reason I'm really feeling, Ari, that this is not going to happen is because of the Lenormand. I see you trying to move in there, and I see you being cut off right away with that site there. And so I almost feel like it might just not happen for whatever reasons.
Right, I get almost the exact same feel. I feel that the star reversed could be saying that maybe whoever is telling you, oh, yeah, you'll do great here, giving you a false destiny or feeling of destiny. But the Eight of Wands says that maybe, this job will tire you. This job will make you feel spent in a way. You will work hard for not a good achievement, or at least what you want to be the achievement. And I do agree with Banshee that the scythe impacts the rider that way, saying that there's not a lot of momentum to help you get further ahead, that you might be, an example, limited to an area where it's slow traffic. So I don't know if you're a waitress or what you're doing there, but where there's just not a lot of interaction happening for some reason. I don't see it being profitable to you. I want to move on to
Go ahead.
Longhorns.
Hmm.
All right.
I'll go
And
back to this.
And okay, and I may too. It's the reverse Queen of Pentacles over here and the reversed King of Pentacles. So Longhorns, I'm wondering if it's a mom and pop franchise. Okay, the stork, well, she likes hers, obviously, and the mice, okay,
No,
maybe
I
not.
don't. I was hoping for some light here,
I
and
see.
I'm just not seeing it right now, which is really unfortunate. Um, I'm not going to say you are getting a job there, but it really doesn't seem like it would pay off as well as you had hoped. You've got both the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles reversed. And so it just seems like, is it really in your best interest to do this? And would you be really, again, kind of I don't want to say wasting your energy, but feeling really drained. The Queen of Pentacles reverse can indicate that you're going to have to put out a lot for others there and not get much in return. That's what it looks like. And again, this looks like a new beginning. Like maybe you could get this job, but there's a lot of stress, or I won't say a lot, but there's little things that will keep adding up, little stressors with the mice here.
I said a mom and pop franchise. Like, I know some of these businesses are franchised off of the corp. Whether or not that's really true, I do get the feeling like there's some bad management. And that's the kiss of death for a lot of restaurants, franchise or not, is when a manager doesn't seem to understand it. I feel that both of these are not necessarily good prospects for you, at least at this time. And
Well,
I don't want you to feel like, there's no other possibilities. You can always take it and see how it goes. And when, it does get to be too much pressure or not enough profit, decide to make an exit.
it's kind of a hit and miss thing here. I would almost wanted to say maybe you ought to try for Longhorns and just see how it works out. But I don't know. When I'm looking at the other cards, I'm thinking,
Trade-offs.
yeah, there are trade offs here. The money may not be for you as well here as you think. And maybe there might be a little bit better financial advantage here, but I think you would be very drained and, you would just feel kind of negative about the place. You wouldn't feel very good going into work or coming out of work.
Negativity, less viability.
Yeah.
Not as viable for you.
Oh, they just look bad right now. But this could be just a snapshot in time.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's always
I
possible.
just want to throw this out there that maybe the universe is saying, yes, you probably want that second job and need one, but maybe now is not the right time. Because right now, either one place is not hiring or will not have a place for you, and the other place just it may not be as financially advantageous. Maybe it's a matter of the tips. Tips would be lower if you are waitressing or whatever, and maybe business is going to be down at some of these places, as the economy potentially worsens in the months ahead.
That's a good point of view that, the food service economy will probably suffer the most indirectly because of the tariffs,
Well, because of people having to pay higher prices for everything.
right?
So, it may affect their ability to eat out more. I don't know. But I
So
wish you luck with that. I'm
good
sorry the
luck.
cards were kind of negative on that. I was surprised we did not have something a little bit more clear come out. But
And let us know if, things do work out better if you get there, because we'd like to know
if
that.
you get in one of them, why don't you try anyway?
I think you should.
I always say don't let our cards completely guide you. Just let them be more of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm prepared for this if it happens. Good luck with that.
Oh my goodness. We are at the end of our list. Unless Jasmina shows up,
Yasmina, are you here?
we'll wait a customary moment or two. I will tell people about our wonderful shows coming up.
Yeah, because we
As
have
we
time.
mentioned before, Banshees Material Matters at 10 a.m. It's a real good economic information for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac. And we have a lot of fun. It's recorded, but we premiere it, so we are live in the chat room. We have a blast. We drink coffee and talk about every little thing. So it's great information, a great other chance to support us. We would appreciate that. On Saturday at 10 a.m. is our happy hour. It's our single card pull for everyone who shows up in the chat room. Just say hi, and whether you stay or not, we're going to pull a card for you. It's designed to uplift your spirit and enlighten you. And then, of course, tomorrow, I've been going backwards from Sunday, is my emotional exchanges, the outlook on the emotional exchanges. And it's a quick romp through the zodiac, reading 2 cards for each sign. Top card is that vibe that's coming to you this week. And the bottom card, will you be lucky in love, romance, or whatever?
Well, and let's not forget Sunday
Our
live.
live stream, yes.
We'll be back to answer any of your questions from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be there early because Sunday is the day we tend to fill up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
won't be ending early on Sunday, that's for sure.
Likely not. And we're sorry we had to start an hour early last week. As it turned out, our barbecue got canceled at the last minute. And we
What a
ended up,
chagrin.
I know, we ended up going Monday instead. They had to cancel it because one of them was not feeling well. And so, and other people canceled because they couldn't make it. But everybody came out on Monday.
Almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Well, that one couple we won't mention.
And the puppy was there.
The puppy was there. The puppy was so awesome.
Aw, we had fun. So anyway, I guess that's all. Do we have anything else? We have no special show, I think, next week.
Nope. Oh, I haven't really gotten my Joker Tarot unboxing finished, so I'm hoping to produce that and get it up on the web. So look for that. I haven't produced it yet. And I used the Joker Tarot tonight. It's a splendid tarot designed by Corrado Roy, and I forget who writes the cards. Really cool stuff, and I think I used it for the first reading, and I thought it was pretty cool.
I'm glad you like it.
Yes, I do like it.
Somebody thought to
But
get it
no
for
more
me.
tarots.
What? For
Begin
real?
to get a complex.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for joining us today. We appreciate it. As always, love answering your questions, love trying to give you some guidance as best we can through the tarot. And take care. Have a great rest of your day or evening, and hope to see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye for now.